Hi everyone, Carolyn Funke here. Just stopping in to tell you about my 12-step meeting experience. I went to an AA meeting in Larchmont on Tuesday, um, and it was a really great experience. I showed up, and it was extremely intimidating walking into that room. I showed up about 2 minutes late because all the doors to the building were locked, but one, I didn't know where I was going. Which I didn't think would be such a big deal. But by the time I got there, this meeting apparently is they're pretty strict about everyone being in their seats when the meeting is supposed to start. So no one really reacted, but I definitely felt like, oh, I'm definitely late. Okay. So the moderator was already introducing the topic. The meeting that I attended, they sort of pick an AA topic, sort of a catchphrase that is used in the program to sort of think about and how it impacts each individual's life. So the moderator was talking about easy does it, and he talked a lot about some personal experiences he'd had in his relationship and how his drinking fed into that, and also how now that he's in recovery, how he uses that principle in difficult situations. Like he sort of gave the example of being stuck in traffic, and that was interesting. So he kind of related it to, why things weren't working when he was drinking, and how that helped him to deal with situations now that he's not drinking. So that was kind of cool. And then everyone went around the room and talked about what that experience meant to them, what that topic meant to them and how they used it in their daily life. So anyway, getting back to my feelings walking in, it was intimidating, but everyone was, I could just feel how extremely welcoming they were and supportive just walking in right away. There were so few women there, about 6, I think, in total, and the rest were men, which normally would be an intimidating situation, but it did not feel that way. So as I was sitting there, it occurred to me that, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to introduce myself, which was uncomfortable. But I decided I would just, say my name and that it was my first time there. And as soon as I said that, the entire room kind of erupted with this giant welcome, which was actually kind of emotional. It was a really, really positive environment with supportive people. A few of the stories that folks told at that meeting kind of, tugged to the heartstrings. That, there's definitely some real struggle in that room. For the most part, people seemed really engaged. There was no side conversation going on whatsoever. I felt that some people who were sharing were being extremely vague about what they were talking about, others giving a lot of detail. Very, very few people, only maybe 2 or 3 people in the whole meeting kind of deferred and didn't speak, just said their name and moved on, which I thought was interesting. Everyone was really engaged. It was a really large group. I think 75 people at this meeting. This experience really helped me to understand what a 12-step meeting is like. I had never experienced anything like this before. And I guess I didn't realize how little folks were going to interact with one another actually during the meeting. People told their story, and aside from kind of some, nods of understanding and, the occasional supportive, yes comment, something like that, unless somebody was really having a real struggle and the moderator encouraged them to come to another meeting, really, it was, people shared and moved on, which I didn't expect. I don't know why I expected more interactions between individuals. So that was interesting to see. After the meeting, I felt that, 4 or 5 people who were sitting right near me, immediately got up and introduced themselves. Like, it was almost like they didn't want me to escape. So it was a little intimidating, but also very, very encouraging and very welcoming. I think if I had been there as an alcoholic, that really, could have been a critical moment. Several people gave me their phone numbers and encouraged me to reach out, offered to be a temporary sponsor. I mean, immediately, instantaneously. It was like they had been trained to do this, you know, and they also kind of explained, a couple of people were in a conversation, exchanging some text messages and phone numbers, talking about how they were going to keep each other accountable on some goals after the meeting. So I can see how, real peer relationships are forming at these meetings, and how these support systems, are sort of integrated into these folks' lives outside of the actual meeting itself. So it was really cool to see that. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Thanks. I welcome your comments.